Claudia, and I want to ask my teachers what they recommend to their students in order to learn efficiently for their subject.
Romanian literature has an important role in the formation of the student's personality, in the development of some skills and abilities, in arguing their own options, capable of aesthetic sensibility, having the consciousness of cultural identity, and showing interest for the variety of artistic expression. In order to learn about Romanian literature, the most important is to read, as much as possible, the compulsory books, prose, poetry, theater, critics. The students should build a database about the writers that they are studying. That's why I think that the most important thing to do in order to learn is reading and understanding. The next step is to structure the information. By taking some time to organize, they can increase effectiveness, even if it doesn't feel so satisfying in short term.
In order to learn mathematics and to understand this subject, the most important aspect is the individual study and the student's effort to initiate and to finalize alone an exercise or a problem.
To learn efficiently, I recommend my students to connect own knowledge with the media and to analyze the process that develop on.
My name is Daniela Dumitraș. I am a chemistry teacher, and chemistry, being a real science, cannot be approached only by simple reading of the content, but with the pen and pencil. Thus, I recommend my students to take notes, make applications, and solve problems.
According to each subject, I recommend students, first of all, to pay attention to teaching or learning activities carried out in the class. It is very important to follow the explanation, to comprehend the concept and the relationship between them, to understand the given examples. Regarding the individual study, students should read the whole content when divided into smaller chunks, following the main ideas, and identify the keywords to acquire specialized terminology. Making application is very important to synthesize and consolidate knowledge.
My name is Carmen Inculez, teacher of food industry. My recommendation for the students are: set up clearly your goal. There is a difference in learning for passing an exam and learning for success. Make sure your notes are clear, correct, and complete. Highlight with colors, make schemes with the most important concepts and keywords. When reviewing, follow the scheme and try to develop a topic in order to activate knowledge. Make associations between the technological scheme and technological device. Try to understand what you want to learn. Listen to yourself. Rest enough time, and don't forget break.
Learning foreign languages is an accomplishment, since millions of people learn foreign languages but very few succeed in mastering them. But the ability to learn foreign languages varies from person to person. Some of the reasons of these differences are age, motives, intelligence, personality, and emotion. In order to learn foreign languages efficiently, I recommend to my students the following: to add or increase new vocabularies almost every day, to listen to different videos, to watch the news or listen to music, to read magazines or just surf the internet randomly, having a dictionary nearby, to try to read books and novels from different times and for different levels, to find a pen pal with whom they can exchange messages or letters and exercise their writing.
What support activities do you offer your students to optimize their learning?
For optimizing their learning, I'm organizing lessons where the students are involved. For example, the teacher proposes a literature trial. The judge, the attorneys, the complainants, and the reclaimed are the students. The theme is given by the teacher. The more the student involves during classes, the more learning is developed. That's why the literature teacher uses many techniques techniques in order to make the students part of the teaching process. For example, group working, the debate, being a teacher for 5 minutes, share, pair circles, cognitive map, conceptual map, thinking hats, 4 corners, or the brainstorming, I don't know. But an important impact on the student's mind does the organization of great shows involving reciting poems or theatrical productions. The students get in touch with the text and understand better the message. Watching Romanian movies or theater plays adopted from the national literature helps the students to know better the subject, the plot, the characters, the relationships between the characters, the atmosphere, the dressing code or the scenery or the background.
I adapt the content to the level of each class, especially the exams and the examples and the exercise. Also, I review periodically elementary things and the skills in order to consolidate them. Moreover, I create my own exercises as application to the taught contents to exercise the skill and the competence checked by the means of the final exam.
The support activities that I recommend are working with the map and trips to know better natural and anthropical phenomena.
Practical applications have the role to connect the knowledge with their daily experience and to consolidate gained knowledge. The Advanced e-learning platform is a useful tool helping students to see experiments, chemical reactions. Moreover, I consider that the project method is useful to improve learning, developing interrelationship, teamwork and IT competencies.
The foreign languages teacher use a wide variety of sport activities that can optimize students' learning. We try to introduce our students into a native speaking environment. We encourage them to learn poems or songs in order to improve their speaking and their vocabulary. We always bring to classes authentic documents. Very often, we hold our classes in the media laboratory where students can surf on the internet, search for information on the topics discussed in class, even write CVs or job applications in French or English.
In order to facilitate the learning process, I offer students logical scheme so that they could retain essential knowledge together with the illustration and detailing of the aspects with a higher grade of difficulty.
I pay attention to filling in their portfolio. After each class and for review unit, students have to prepare projects. Besides using active teaching methods, I try to give them all the time documentary sheets, worksheets, models of technological devices, posters and technological scans, documentary videos, book, etc. Also, I consider very useful study visits, and thus I take them periodically to a production unit of our economical partner.
Give some concrete examples for one activity or for a topic.
A successful activity during the last year was putting in scene the work La Țigănci, or the Gypsy's House, by Mircea Eliade. Some students were asked to write the plot play, others to create the background, the music, the clothes, involving them determined to be attentive to all the details, to understand all the suggestions of the author, the symbols. The theater is a collaborative effort of giving and doing. Every member must be part of a cohesive community. The better the community functions, the greater the potential to impact people's lives through experience. The ideal situation in theater production is something for which to strive. Such an organization lends the potential for quality. The goal is to give the audience the best and the most meaningful experience they can possibly have. In our situation, The winners are the students that are involved, but also the audience formed by their colleagues.
Since I have been teaching, I have noticed the useful and the efficiency of two methods of teaching. The first makes a better connection between the abstract things and the concrete one. For students, it is easier to understand even an equation when the unknown factor is described with the help of a well-known thing. The second is about discovering the new concepts in mathematics, not about learning them. For example, instead of teaching powers in the fifth or the sixth form, I used to let them discover this notion as a repeated multiplication.
A concrete example then I can give you is our study trip in Neamț, where students observe geological structures, Doritoarea Waterfall and Buffalo Reservation Dragoș Vodă near Târgu Neamț. They had the opportunity to make photo in order to increase the materials necessary for their portfolio.
For 10th grade, on polysaccharides, I prepared a PPT presentation with general knowledge, followed by a lab work and AEL, during which students analyzed experimentally and virtually the properties of saccharides, identifying their uses. The unit ended with a contest that checked their theoretical knowledge, while their colleagues produced a model, a logo, and a poster connected to the topic. Students were highly motivated due to awards, public recognition, and marks.
One concrete example would be the activities developed in partnership with the British Council or le Centre Culturel Français. Students are introduced in a foreign language environment where can be attend various meetings held by native speakers. They can consult the library books. They can use the language laboratory or the media laboratory. In addition, they sometimes have the chance of meeting foreign students and make friends.
Due to the fact that psychology is a mainly theoretical subject, the accent falls on reviving and activating the previous knowledge and experience of students. Therefore, problem solving is one of the most used methods to increase the efficiency of the acquisition process.
I often use role play because this method gives students the opportunity to work in groups, to learn by discovering or by doing, and to be creative.
Hello, my name is Sherban, and I like to ask some questions my colleagues. What does it help you learn more quickly and more efficiently?
Usually before I study, I try to get about an hour's sleep. When I wake up, I drink a hot or iced tea, depending on the season. It keeps me fresh and willing to learn.
Obviously, people would advise a child to study in a silent environment. I beg to differ. For me, it's a very hostile circumstance to study in. I often go to my room, turn on some music, not too loud or engaging, brew myself a cup of tea, and read before I start writing for the better understanding of the subject I'm about to engage.
In order to learn efficiently, I focus my attention exclusively on that information. When I am interested in the subject and I like what I learn, I remember easier and for a long period.
Do you have different methods that help you according to the subject you are learning for?
One method that I tend to use when I'm learning English is to read the novel before, to get used to the proper English, and to develop my skills. For example, another example, when I do math, when I'm doing math, I'm trying to get the logic between those exercises, and even though I finish them and the result is good.
Me and my friends often talk about this due to the fact that we are in a very difficult year in our lives with all the exams and so on. And I have noticed that not only there are different methods that can keep students learn more efficiently, each and every other student has his own pace, technique and rhythm. Whilst I answer this question, I cannot come to the aid of someone as an individual. However, the only advice I can give is the student to ask the teacher for advice on teaching them how to study properly.
Work group is a way of studying in a more relaxing ambient where I can socialize but also share opinions.
What support activities were the most helpful for your learning?
I think a very good sport activity is role playing. For example, a scene or a movie. I think it develops your social skills and it's a fun way to learn English or the language you practice.
As I've mentioned earlier, making your studying environment as comfortable as possible is the way for me. On the other hand, I cannot say the same for all of you that are watching this material right now.
One of the support activity for my learning was watching a movie Morometri, adapted by the well-known novelist Marin Preda. The movie helped me to understand better the plot, the characters, and the main atmosphere.